sit on my lap. G with an O, O with a D, T with an I, and a M and a E, and a good time.
Welcome back to our daily show on this Tuesday morning. Spotlight on the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, and Riverbend Family Ministries has been to every North Alton Godfrey Business Council meeting, I think, since I've joined. How are you guys doing today?
You're doing well. How are you?
Yeah. Well, honestly, the rain helped a little bit, but it's going to get a little hotter throughout the week, so we'll see what happens.
It is.
Well, and before we just kind of get right into the heart of the conversation, how's life at RFM right now? I heard things were busy when you guys were in the lobby area, so it's just been kind of one of those seasons where you're full steam ahead.
Yeah, it's been really busy. The heat does quite a number on our unhoused friends, and so I'm glad that RFM is a space where they can come in and get out of that heat, because evenings has even been, you can't even get relief at night because it's still so hot. So they can come in and shower and do their laundry. But not just that, we've got a lot of our low-income families that just aren't making ends meet. Energy bills are higher, and it's been really hard. But RFM's been busy helping to meet that need. We can't meet it all, but we can meet a big portion of it for this county.
Yeah, and during our open hours, it can feel so chaotic, people coming and going, and just the hustle and bustle. But it's just a reminder that, they're not only there to get a warm shower, clean their clothes, meet with our team. Like, there's a wide variety of resources right there in the building that they can access. So it's just a reminder that, in that moment, there's so much going on, but sometimes it's just that first step in their journey forward. So that's really refreshing and gives us a lot of hope of what that looks like afterwards.
100%. And, Rachael, you were just recently named 40 under 40 and really just accelerating and doing so much with RFM and your professional life. Just how does that feel too?
It feels really good. This summer, I'm celebrating 2 years in the role, which I always say in the development world feels like 20 in a good way, though. But there's just, so many great things going on.
Yeah, I bet.
But I really am so inspired. I previously worked in the St. Louis community, so just to be welcomed to, Madison County, especially the Riverbend area. I've met so many incredible people, both groups, donors, other nonprofits, the people in our building, and I've just loved every moment of it, even the hard ones. We have such a great community of support, and I just love being a part of it, and I'm really grateful.
Now, looking back 2 years when you go into the role, did you see yourself developing as quickly as you did? Because honestly, it's one of those where you kind of dove right into it. It was fun to watch you kind of take off and just accelerate right away. Did you feel that, or was that something you kind of had to look back on and go, man, look how far we've come here with this?
Yeah, you don't always feel it in the moment. I think sometimes when you are thrown into the deep end, you can sink or swim, but I'm definitely an adaptable person, and I have a pretty diverse skill set, so I think that really helps me. And in the nonprofit world, we definitely are resourceful and innovative. We find creative solutions because we don't have an endless budget for technology and marketing and all these things that maybe in the corporate world you might have access to. So I think that definitely gives me that upper hand. And on top of that, having a great community that I can lean on, especially other development directors here in the Riverbend have been so amazing. So I'm really grateful for that as well.
And, Tammy, with someone like Rachael on staff, and you guys have a great team all the way around, but, take me through just what you've been able to experience with Rachael, over those 2 years in that role and your position.
She's been a game changer. And I don't say that lightly, because I was the one with the donor retention, and I was taking care of meeting with donors, and I was in charge of content for our website, and it was failing because I couldn't. And then fundraising and marketing and all of those things, besides the day-to-day directing a nonprofit.
Right.
And for Rachael to come in and take the majority of those things off my plate really was a game changer for me. And she jumped right into the deep end. There were fragments of this and this and this, and she organized them and put them all together, and her marketing skills. I don't even worry about the website and content anymore, because her marketing skills are top notch, and they always look so professional and so clean. She's good at getting the word out. I'm talking about you like you're not even here. That's funny.
Appreciate it.
But she did, when she says I'm a mighty team of one or a small mighty team, she is. I know there's days that are so stressful, and she just fights right through that, and has been so adaptable to the small nonprofit world, because it's so flexible and so changing every day. There's something different. So.
Well, and honestly, it's one of those things where I could only imagine you have to monitor so many things when it comes to, like what's the state doing, what's the federal government doing when it comes to funding and grants and all of those really important things too. And Rachael, you were talking about community earlier, and with it being the North Alton Godfrey Business Council spotlight, what have those luncheons meant for your role? Have they helped you, in collaboration?
Absolutely. It's such a good opportunity. Just anytime we have a chance for a room of people to come together, I think in this, even though we have more technology than we've ever had, we live in a very isolated world. So anytime we can be in the same room, enjoy a meal, and speak face to face, because especially working on the marketing side, we do a lot through social media and emails, and those are all great tools. But just to be able to talk to someone and say, how are you doing? And build that relationship in an authentic way, face to face. Of course, there's other ways we can support each other through business and just supporting the nonprofit. But it's really nice to have, groups like the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, where we can create that community and network and have that authentic space to come together.
And you get to listen to Zeke's jokes.
Yes. That never hurts.
Well, take me through also, some of the other things that you guys are preparing for this summer as, the hot days are underway. And it's great to know for the public, too, that, if you know of somebody, especially because you never know what happens, maybe, your neighbor who's, maybe widowed or by themselves in any way, shape, or form's air conditioner goes out and they don't know where to go. Just take me through what you guys anticipate the next couple of months. And are there any events that are coming down the way?
Sure. So, I'll say in addition to our cooling center efforts, I'll let Tammy talk a little bit more about that. But we do have our annual golf tournament coming up. It'll be right in the thick of summer. It's a little later than our usual tournament date, but that'll be happening on July 25th. So that's always a really great day. It's not only a really fun event, but all proceeds go right back to our efforts to have our cooling center and our year-round efforts to bring people in, meet their basic needs, and get them on that path to stability. Like I said, that'll be happening on July 25th at Belk Park Golf Course in Wood River. We still have some team registrations available. You can do that through our website, which is my-rfm.org/events, or you can always just call our main number and be connected to myself. Sponsorships are available. Any sponsorship of $1,000 and up includes a free team entry. So in addition to having that team fun day on the course, you also can get some publicity for your business, which never hurts. So it's definitely a win-win, and we encourage people to do that as well.
Individual golfers $110 and the team's $440, which is really an affordable golf tournament. Yes. Plus you get prizes like flights and places based on the number of teams. The longest drive won't be me. Closest to the pin won't be me. Best dressed won't be me. Worst score, that'll be me. This is cool. And then you got lunch included in that too.
Lunch
Correct.
And dinner this year will be included. Jason Harrison, his truck, Smoke and Hope.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great
We'll
truck.
be there for there doing dinner that night. So that's exciting to be able to bring in another cool nonprofit to be able to serve, and get their name out as well. So
When I think it's so great that you guys and really it seems like all nonprofits around this area, or at least for the most part, really collaborate well with each other and realize it takes the tide and not the to be the tide. And I think that's so important for everybody's mission and really just true growth.
Well, and it just brings about a larger impact.
Yeah,
because. Just think of RFM. RFM is 7 nonprofits all under one roof that work with violence, addiction, homelessness, poverty. And I can take someone across the hall to someone, maybe one of our unhoused, as Rachael alluded to, one of our unhoused guests come in and they're really struggling with addiction, say, and they're ready to change their life after they've been in, taken a shower, done laundry, got to meet our team, and we can lean in and say, what's your story?
Right.
Well, I really don't want to be on the street. Well, let's work towards, changing that and helping you to thrive. And we can walk them over to Amari.
Right.
Who then wraps around them and really helps them get on that road to recovery. So just that collective impact. This work's hard. We have to do this work together. So bringing in the food truck we'll get his name out, and just the concept of how and why that came about is super cool. So we'll be able to get their word out, our FEM's word out. But like I said, this work's hard. We got to do it together.
Yes.
100%. And honestly, that's why I think, you guys are so unique, and really where you can be that one place where, you aren't having to go 15 places to Sunday just to figure out a couple of answers or get started. Because, you guys know this. I'm sure the first step is always the hardest when it comes to anybody, whether it's someone with a family or by themselves.
Yeah. We always say that our families are so brave to walk through our door.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And to give them a pamphlet or something that Rachael's done, and it's done well. To give them a pamphlet. Most of the time, they're going to put it in the backseat of their car, and for them to go into a building across the street or across town, they're not going to retell that story most of the time.
Right.
So to be able to do it all in one place is.
Yeah, and it's hard to put yourself in the shoes of someone that is in a crisis situation if you've never been there before.
Right.
So if you had to imagine if your house burned down or you lost your job and tomorrow I have to find shelter for my kids and health care and whatever that looks like you're going to be in a pretty elevated mindset. So our team does such an incredible job of listening to them and being very trauma informed and knowing that's a natural human reaction to be scared and sometimes angry and just managing all those emotions that come along with being in that state. But they meet them where they're at. They are able to share those resources if there's not something we can do to point them in the right direction so they're not hitting those dead ends and losing hope and getting into a worse spot. That really can make all the difference. And like I said, our team is just absolute rock star angels. I can't say enough incredible things about them.
And honestly, like we talked about, before we started the interview, you have to have a good team to accomplish what you're accomplishing. If you don't, I'm sure if it's one of those, if one problem child could cause it a big kind of issue because of just all the different components of what you guys do each and every day. And I saw this where you need some cooling center supplies.
Yeah.
Do we still need them?
We still need them. Water, Gatorade, cooling towels, snacks.
Yeah.
Because we're a cooling center and we're open till 4. Doors open at 9, and then we close at 4, which allows them, then we give them bus tokens then to be able to get out, maybe get on the bus for a little bit, just some reprieve from the heat because it's accumulative. And some of our friends have passed away during the summer.
100%, yeah.
Because they just couldn't, they couldn't navigate places to be able to get out of the heat. And we don't want that to happen.
Absolutely not. And last week when the heat wave was, rolling in, were you guys at an influx with folks? Were they utilizing your cooling center?
We did 20 to 25 showers a day.
Wow.
And then our laundry was nonstop the whole time as well.
Well, and not to cut you off, but it goes back to, Rachael's role here, because it all comes back to work, making sure that folks know that this is a place to come. Because I think, I don't know too much about, how your guys' industry works and how this all works together. But I'm sure it takes a little bit more time for folks that are unhoused and maybe don't know to get that information too.
Yeah. And we've, on top of our great community of supporters, just working with local other nonprofits, other local healthcare providers, law enforcement, elected officials, and every time someone steps in our building for the first time, they said, oh my goodness, I had no idea that this existed. It really is a solution because there are so many great nonprofits in our community doing really great things, and we all have this desire to collaborate, but it's not easy when we're spread out and we have different hours and barriers like transportation and our open hours and all of those barriers. So it is really refreshing anytime we can spread the word that not only do these services exist, but this model exists, and that in itself is really powerful.
Well, and honestly, if you guys can, I mean, just stop by and they can just drop off, also some of these supplies. And Rachael, is there anything else that we can do throughout? Like, do you guys have a monthly donation that we can be a part of as a 501c3?
Absolutely. And we do have an Amazon wish list. So
really cool.
I know sometimes schedules are busy and dropping things off at the building can be
hit
hard.
a link. And
Now you have no excuse.
no, you have no excuse now.
But like you said, one-time or monthly donations are such a powerful way to support our cause, whether that's $5 a month, $500 a month. Every dollar goes right to helping people rebuild their lives. So that's all set up through our website. We have a whole giving society, so definitely encourage you to take a look at that. And if anyone wants to just learn more about our work, and seeing our building in person is really the best way to do that, because it's one thing to say about all the great things we do, but anytime you can walk through the building and see it for yourself, it's really powerful. So I would invite anyone to schedule time to come do that.
Well, and that's what happened with the business council, because we had the lunch there, and that was the first time that I'd ever walked through your guys' building. And it truly is one of those places where you have to go to truly understand the mission and really see what's happening. It's incredible too.
Yes.
Well, and I like the thought that goes into, how you guys set it up. I mean, there's a lot of, the way you guys set up offices and everything else. It's really great. And before we say goodbye for now, we have a couple more minutes. Is there anything else that we can raise awareness to? Are we preparing for the big fundraiser, the big dinner?
We're already started working on the dinner.
Yeah. So same with our golf tournament. We've kind of changed our event timing this year. So that will be on September 18th this year at the Lewis and Clark Commons in Godfrey. That's our annual fundraising event. It's a dinner where we invite our entire community to come together to celebrate the amazing work that we've done this year and everything that we've accomplished together. This year's theme is navigating a brighter future. So just kind of celebrating that journey, that traveling path that people go on, especially from the time they walk into our doors to the months and years ahead. It's free to attend. We have a great meal catered by Bella Bolano, and it's our largest fundraiser of the year. So we, again, encourage everyone to come out for that, and we'll have some great sponsorships developed soon. And that event is going to be, our title sponsor is Phillips 66 this year.
Really
They've
cool.
been such amazing partners since the early days of RFM. So we're so grateful to have them on board for that this year.
Oh, and we'll make sure as we get closer to that, we'll come back on and talk about it and get all the details. Great. And I really like the theme of that. It ties everything back into truly the mission you guys are about. And before I let you guys go, what's your thought to somebody that hasn't joined the Business Council yet? I know there's like 8,000 of us now at these lunches, so we're getting close to full. But, for young entrepreneurs or maybe folks that are starting a nonprofit, what's that kind of call to action for you guys to them?
I would say relationships are everything. And I know when I was early in my career, like the thought of networking, it feels icky and overwhelming and transactional. And that's honest. But I think especially for younger generations, just knowing like meaningful, authentic, genuine relationships, like start with showing up. And even if that's just being there and enjoying the lunch and making a couple new connections, that's just a great place to start. And it builds from that. And it takes time. And that's one great first step to take by joining the Business Council.
Absolutely.
It really is, because there's a lot of great minds that come together. And if we're having an issue with something or a thought, we can pick up the phone and say, Zeke, what's your thought about this? And without being in those circles, without networking, we wouldn't be able to be fortunate to have those type of relationships. And so coming together at the Business Council is really a great thing.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk again soon as we get closer to your fundraiser, and I hope the golf tournament goes well. And also, once again, congratulations on the accolade. That's really such a cool thing.
She deserves it.
100%.
Every bit of it.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more Daily Show, and we'll come back with Ameren. They're going to fill us in on some ways that they keep the vegetation and all that safe, and how we can too during the summer and all the storms that are coming into the area. You stay there, and I'll be here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.